Good evening. After such wonderful discussion, there were some talks of art and architecture and things like that in the previous panel discussion. And I'm going to make a small presentation 2020, that is 20 slides, 20 seconds each. About 7 minutes is what I've been given. So A and A is the topic of my presentation. And what's A and A? So the A for art and A for architecture. Yeah. So when you think of art and architecture, there are few things which comes to our mind. So when you think of art, these are the words which come to our mind, like rhythm, painting, balance, creative, harmony, colors, imagination, abstract, sculptural, contemporary. Art describes a diverse range of cultural activity centered around works utilizing creative or imaginative skills and talents, which are expected to evoke a worthwhile experience, generally through an expression of emotional power, conceptual ideas, technical proficiency, and beauty. Art has some motivated and some non-motivated functions. Some of the non-motivated functions are human instinct for harmony, balance, and rhythm, experience of the mysteries, expression of imagination, ritualistic and symbolic functions. And some of the motivated functions are art for communication, art as entertainment, art as political change, art for social causes, art for psychological and healing purposes, art for propaganda or commercialism, art as a fitness indicator. When we say architecture, there are some of the words which comes to our mind. Climate responsive, landscaping, design, planning, structure, building, science, arches, material, ornamentation, deco. Architecture is the art and technique of designing building as distinguished from the skills of associated with construction. It is both the process and the product of sketching, conceiving, planning, designing, and constructing building or other structures. Architectural work in the material form of buildings are often perceived as cultural symbols and as work of art. These are the famous words of Frank Lloyd Wright, and this came up in the last discussion. The mother art is architecture. Without an architecture of our own, we have no soul of our own civilization. Talking of civilization, this is the Virupaksha temple at Hampi. And this is a 7th century piece of work which beautifully integrated art in the form of sculptures and decor along with the temple architecture. It's a World Heritage notified structure. Coming to more modern times, Hussain Doshi Gufa, which was completed in 1995 in Ahmedabad, represents a unique juxtaposition of architecture and art. So when you look at it, the exterior of it could be architecture, could be a sculpture. And more interestingly, when you go inside, what you see is amazing piece of architecture, sculpture, and painting. In the global context, if you look at the Sagrada Familia building, the church, which is unfinished, but the famous work of the architect, Spanish architect, Antonio Gaudí, who died in 1926, but the work is still going on. This is an amazing piece of architecture which could be something we call sculpture or a piece of art also. In more recent times, the Dancing House by Franco Gehry in 1997 is more sculpturous than a piece of architecture. The Louvre Museum in Paris, in my opinion, it not only houses pieces of art, but it's a piece of art itself. So whether it's building or a piece of art, that's a viewer or a person who is visiting has to decide. Another building, my favorite building, is the Pompidou Center at Paris, which is a modern art gallery. And I think this represents a very different perspective about architecture. And it could be in the form of some kind of a, I would say, use of industrial construction components and making it feel like it's a sculpture inspired by those material. How can we not think of Zaha Hadid? And this is the building Ravi mentioned about Haider Aliyev Center at Baku. So I think Zaha Hadid in 2012 set a new benchmark on what a building can be in the form of a very sculpturous work. I think we all get inspired by this kind of works of people, and we all try to do something in our own work. So last couple of slides, let me try to show you what I have been trying to do. So this is our project, the Monolith. This is in city center of Udaipur. It's a mixed use with hotel and commercial and retail at the lower levels. And here we visualized it like a sculpted white marble block. You know, Udaipur is home to a lot of white marble mines, and that's how we visualized it. Here, the glass is used as a second skin because of the climate issues, but still there was some requirement, so we use glass as a second skin. In the same building, we have an atrium for the hotel at the third floor level, and this is the atrium where we wanted to create some theme to it, and we realized that by just adding something into it, you can create a theme atrium. And this is where we just added few pieces of artwork which were done by a local artist called Kamal Sharma, and you can see this is what we added, and it became like few clouds and elephants, and I had visualized it like a flying elephant court, and that's how it became. The corridors around this atrium, as you can see, are inspired by the traditional Jarukhas, and we have used the various photographs and historical pictures of Rajasthan and Udaipur in the corridor. So it's designed like an art gallery. There are 4 floors of this boutique hotel of 52 rooms, and all the floors have different color themes. So there are 4 different seasons, and the impact of 4 different seasons on the Rajasthan landscape as well as the buildings of Rajasthan have been captured in their various forms, which I'll show you in the next slide. So this is how the rooms are designed, and each room has a different artwork on the backdrop of the bed. And I think the idea was to make each room unique with different pictures of artwork which were developed in coordination with an artist from Ahmedabad. My last slide is about how we have incorporated some artwork in our recently completed Mall of Ranchi project in Jharkhand. It's in the form of a video. So the arrival experience for people who were coming for shopping into this mall has been enhanced with the, introduction of some artwork which were connected with the local history and things like that. And that's what we have tried to do. I had, as the principal at PSA, I have always believed that art is the soul of a building. Manifestation of it comes through architecture. Thank you.